Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming to you live. I'm gonna take this off. Live from Buffalo Wild Wings. So today what I do is give you 5 must-know tips for how to work remote. You can be working from a Starbucks. In this case, I'm working from a restaurant. But things that I always look for when I go work out of the office to kind of clear my head. So the first thing, the most important thing is internet and power. So that's kind of one bullet point. So depending on what you're doing, if you're gonna do if you're working on a laptop or if you're doing something that requires computer, obviously you need power to last your whole work session. So make sure, in this case, got my food. There's actually an outlet down there. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm already set up. I made sure that I requested a booth that had a big workspace, a big table to work from. But first thing I look for is power. Also at Buffalo Wild Wings, at least where I'm at, because they have all the TVs and stuff, I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, they have one of the fastest internet connections here where I live. So when it comes time to upload videos or it comes time to do any major graphic design type stuff, this is a great spot to work. It's got a good environment. I don't know if you can hear me very well because the music's kind of loud, but I was kind of hoping this would be something beneficial for some of you. So internet and power. Number 2 is your seating in your workspace. So right now I'm tucked away in the corner. I've got my back to the door. I like to be able to see anybody walking in. I don't want them looking at my screen, especially if I'm working on projects that aren't common knowledge yet. I do a lot of things that don't, what's the word? Like I've signed like a non-compete where I can't show it. It's not ready for market yet until the design work is done and everything goes to market. So I don't want somebody sneaking up behind me and looking at what I'm working on. So I usually have my back to the door. So the other thing is your workspace. So right now I've got a booth, like I said. I've got plenty of space for my phone, for my headphones, for my laptop, for a piece of paper to write down ideas and just kind of spread out, as well as my lunch that's sitting here getting cold. So I got to make this a quick one. So your seating is huge to that. And then also limit your distractions. So I love these noise canceling headphones from Beats. They're my favorite. But I put those on for 2 things. One, that'll reduce the noise so I can tune into my own, I use Spotify for my playlists, so I can use that to kind of control my own environment and what I'm listening to. But also it's a visual, hey, I'm working, don't talk to me sign. So if I've got my headphones on, most people will kind of ignore you. Sometimes they'll kind of come over. So another way that I limit distractions, so this is point number 3, is limiting distractions, is I'll wear a hoodie a lot of times so I can throw my hoodie up and over my head. Or a hat. And so I've got my headphones and my hat, and so by not making eye contact to people, which I know is kind of rude, but when you got stuff to get done, you got to get it done. So I'll throw that on. I'll make sure that I don't make eye contact, have my hat on, put on my earphones and get to work. So the other part of limiting your distractions when you're working in a situation like this is ask for like an extra drink up front, whether it's water or soda or whatever you're drinking, or coffee if you're at a coffee shop. See if you can't get a refill or an extra one, so that way you don't have to get up and you can just sit down and really focus for a good hour or whatever. And then that way they know to kind of leave you alone too. So that brings me into point number 4, which is actually order something. So if you're gonna go sit at a restaurant, you're gonna take up a table that a waitress has, or you're gonna go to a coffee shop, like order something. Don't just sit there and mooch off of the internet and the space, because that's one less table that they can be serving. So make sure that you've taken the time, even if it's just a small lunch or a drink or whatever. And then number 5 is tell your waitress that you're actually working. So I told my waitress I was gonna go live because I wanted her to know, like I'm over here in the corner yammering to myself. And that way she doesn't come interrupt me. But also if she does want to bring me a water refill, I told her like, yeah, bring more water. But that way she knows like she doesn't have to come check on me either. She can be servicing her other tables and not worrying about what I'm doing over here, because I'm going to be here for an hour or 2. So the other thing is, by them leaving you alone, like they're not having to do as much, but they're also kind of going out of their way to make sure that you're okay and doing well. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll leave a better tip when I leave, just because I basically took over a space for a much longer period of time. And then bonus point number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your food away from your laptop. Keep your water separated. Like I said, I got my laptop way the heck over here, and the drinks are over here, and the food, so I can finish my lunch, kind of think about what I'm doing for the rest of my work day, have them take it away, and then I can get back to work with my laptop. Because nothing would ruin a productive work day like spilling a drink all over your laptop. I would know because I've done it. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys out, gives you some ideas for branching out, maybe trying to work remote. Some of you probably already do that, but when it comes time for you to start trying that out, those are some things that I do when I go into a remote work environment. So thanks for tuning in, guys. What is this today? What did I say? Did I say 28? Today's 29. Tomorrow's the last day of my Facebook Lives. I can't believe we've made it that far. So definitely be sure to follow that new YouTube channel I have as we start to do more lives there, and I'll post some videos there as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you tomorrow.